Well, at this point, I don't think I can sugarcoat this anymore. My low is the fact that has anyone even seen the sky at all in the last couple days? Yeah, it's hard to ignore, but it's true. The giant wildfire that's going on in Canada is so massive that it's blown over. The smoke is essentially blown over where I am, and not only does it smell like smoke outside, but you can barely see the sky. I will say this. It did look like it cleared up a little bit. Like, I could actually look up in the sky and I saw blue. So, I don't know what the situation. And also, I noticed it really only smells like smoke for like maybe 10 of the possible 24 hours you have in a day. Specifically when everybody's awake. I mean, that one should be obvious. The sun is out, the sun provides heat, and the heat sort of accentuates the heat from the fire, and therefore accentuates the potency of the smell of smoke. So maybe that's why. But really, like when you get to around 6, 7 o'clock at night, the smell of smoke at least kind of dissipates. And I swear, on my way home, I could see a clear blue sky. So maybe there's something I'm not missing. Maybe there's something I'm missing. But there's that. My high is I got to see my family yesterday, but also there's actually a new show coming out today that I want to talk about, which I will be getting into momentarily. And my act of kindness was I tried to help set the table for dinner, as well as I also brought in the garbage. Last night we had a pot roast for dinner. It was really good. Oh yeah, another part of my low is I slept in. So now I'm running late on a few things. So good morning, happy Thursday. That means we have Hot Ones today. Rosalie is going to be on Hot Ones. That's really cool. But I don't want to talk about that. I think I should probably talk about the show coming out today on Disney. That's right, Disney has a new show coming out today. And from what I've seen, it looks like it's got a lot of promise. The show is called Hailey's on It. And the best way I really could describe the show to you is a combination of Phineas and Ferb, The Bucket List, and Terminator. I'm not kidding. So, the series is about this one girl named Hailey who really gets kind of timid and scared at a whole bunch of, not scared, but like she'll try and sign up for like a dance team, but she's like, she'll look at like the sign up sheet, she's like, maybe next year. Or she'll try jumping off of a high dive at like her local pool, and she's like, not happening. So basically, like she wants to do things, but it's sort of like self-doubt and fear that kind of hold her back a little bit. And fear of like, you don't know what's going to happen. But all of a sudden, on New Year's Eve, because that's apparently when the series starts, on New Year's Eve, robots from the future try to attack her and kill her. And all of a sudden, this one scientist who shows up, who, first of all, can I just say it's great hearing Sarah. Even though it's just her voice, I'm really glad I'm seeing Sarah Chalk on TV again. Any Scrubs fans out there? No? It's just me? I'm sure there's some Scrubs fans out there. Scrubs is really a great show. Anyway, so this one, like, scientist comes back from the future to talk to Hailey about how the robots were here to attack and kill you. This is a Disney show, by the way. And the reason why the robots came to attack her is so that she can't complete the most important document in all of history, which is, and this is where the bucket list part comes in, a things I'm going to do list. Yeah, so eventually Hailey gets it in her head at some point that she is tired of not being not being true to what she wants to do, having doubt hold her back and such. So she writes a stuff I'm going to do list. And apparently, upon completing this list, it would then eventually lead her to saving the world in the future. And that's why the robots attacked her. Again, it's like Terminator. Or the very promising beginning of the Android saga before Trunks decided not to do the one thing that he should have done. That's a story for another day, though. So, right off the bat, this show really does have a lot of promise. Remember, I mentioned it's a combination of the bucket list, Terminator, and Phineas and Ferb. The Phineas and Ferb part, things aren't going to go over the top like Phineas and Ferb did, but the things on Hailey's to-do list are things that you would never expect to find on a to-do list. And they even hint at, like the theme song kind of hints at some of the things she's going to do. The trailer kind of hints at some of the things she's going to do. Like, learn how to play the glockenspiel. Which, for the record, because of that, I finally looked up what a glockenspiel is. It's basically a percussion instrument that looks like a xylophone, only it's made of wood. Only the things that you hit are made of wood. It's actually kind of cool. I'm like, oh, that's what a glockenspiel is. Cool. I'm going to invent a new color. So she's going to invent a new color. She's going to try and win a pet rock She's going to try and win a pet rock contest. She's going to try and go through a corn maze. Basically, stuff that technically really wouldn't seem that odd or out of place for, okay, maybe the new color thing, I suppose. But nothing that really seems out of the ordinary for most people. But this is Hailey. In the beginning of the show, basically, she doesn't think she can do anything. And now she has to do this to-do list, not only because honestly, this is going to be the kind of show where, yeah, she's trying to save the world. But by the end of the show, provided that they're actually allowed to finish the show, because you know how Disney sometimes can be, provided that they're actually allowed to finish, she'll be like, you know what? I can do this. So there you go. Although, I'm willing to bet that at some point in the show, they're going to show, somehow she's inherently responsible for the robots coming from the future attack her existing. I guarantee that's probably going to be a thing. But the main crux of the show is a certain item on her to-do list that she has to do. And that is kiss her best friend Scott Tanoga. Now look, here's why I actually find that both adorable and very clever. I mean, come on. I'm a sucker for young love. It's great. Not that Hailey shows she has interest in her best friend Scott, but they're best friends. A kiss could potentially make things awkward. We don't want that. So that's why I find it all the more intriguing. But also, obviously, it looks like there's a really long to-do list. If you watch the trailer carefully, you'll notice that kissing your best friend Scott is item 43. How many things are on this to-do list? Because I think they're going to try and do what they did with that one old show, 100 Deeds for Eddie McDowd, where it's they're going to do 100 things on this list. So, 100 episodes, right? Or something I could totally see them doing one episode per item on to-do list. I could totally see how, in a way, they kind of streamline it all in one episode. Sorry, I'm itching my ear. So I could totally see them doing it that way. honestly, it's up in the air with how the show is going to go. Now, in terms of the character design animation, everything looks pretty good for a pretty good typical show. I mean, it takes place in California where everything looks bright and sunny, kind of like what Amphibia was. The problem with, I mean, not that this was a problem with Amphibia, but everything took place in like a lot of forest. So there was a lot of cool colors, earthy colors, green and blue and a little bit of brown. This is like sunny California. You're gonna get some like brighter tones, like some yellows and some sky blue and stuff like that. So everything looks cool. The cast already looks promising. I mean, I just mentioned Sarah Chalk. I can't remember. Well, here's the thing. The cast looks good, but the one casting choice that really has my attention, and why I really am going to give this show a fair chance, is the titular role of Hailey, played by, and I'm gonna. Hopefully, I won't. I always wind up mispronouncing this name, so bear with me. If I can. Hailey Cravallo. Hailey Cravallo. I think that's how you pronounce her name. Oh, you know what? I also thought that was, Oh yeah. If you watch the theme song for Hailey's On It, you hear Gary Anthony Williams as the narrator. Gary Anthony Williams is awesome. Anyway, so here's the thing about, for those who don't know who Hailey Cravallo is, she isn't just any voiceover actress. No. She's actually the voice of Moana. Yes. Okay, so basically for Amphibia, they got a Disney Channel star to voice the main character. And now they got Hailey Cravallo, a Disney princess, voicing the main character of the show. And now there's a few things I'm going to need to explain. Because I just mentioned Amphibia, the main character of Anne Boonshore, is voiced by Brenda Song. A Disney Channel star voicing a main character is nothing new. I mean, Christy Carlson Romano was Kim Possible. But with Anne Boonshore, it really was because Anne was Thai American and Brenda Song is of Thai descent. So that's what it's going like. That's why Hailey Cravallo was the voice of Moana. She's of Polynesian descent. So that's why she got to become Moana. And that might be what they're doing here for Hailey's On, because I mean, if you've seen Hailey, that's not a white girl as the main character. I really think they're gonna put Hailey Cravallo's nationality into consideration when designing the character as well. But as a voiceover fan, here's what I find most interesting. Because a Disney princess returning in a show to voice the main character of a show technically isn't anything new. I mean, the most obvious example, if you grew up in the 90s, there was that Little Mermaid series where Jodie Benson actually came to reprise a role. Or Belle's Magical Castle. Paige O'Hara came to voice Belle. So a Disney princess voicing the main character of a show is anything new. And technically, a Disney princess voicing a side character of a show is anything new either. I forget the name of the woman who voices Tiana in Princess and the Frog, but she was actually the scientist that helped Anne get back to Amphibia in Amphibia. So that, I'm sorry, I got her name. Hold on. Anika Noni Rose, thank you. Yes, Anika Noni Rose. Because she was also, and sorry, I gotta look this up real fast. Again, I didn't really have I can find it. Yeah, Dr. Jan, okay. And Anika Noni Rose is Dr. Jan in Amphibia. So, a Disney princess coming to voice a character in a show that's not involving a Disney princess, that's anything new either. But this would be the first time where a Disney princess is voicing the main character of a show that has nothing to do with the Disney princess that she voiced it previously. This is an entirely new franchise, an entirely different thing, and that'll be the real test of courage. Because we've seen a Disney Channel star helm a show before, Amphibia. Now, we're going to see a Disney princess do it, which should be very interesting. Now, I'm sure a lot of people... Now, for those of you who have been watching me for a long time, you know that I have declared Amphibia as my favorite show of all time. Now, Hailey's on it hasn't even premiered yet. So obviously, it's far too early for me to declare any sort of, like, hierarchy or anything about Hailey's on it yet. And not to mention, it took an entire run-through of Amphibia for me to declare it as my favorite show. Tonight, they're only going to have a 2-episode premiere of Hailey's on it. So, cool your jets, guys. I can tell you, though, that this show has a lot of promise. And for me, personally, it's going to be whether or not Louis Carvalho can make or break this show. I think she can do it, though. If she can be a Disney princess, she can do this. But only time will tell. I hope you liked this video. If you did, like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on social media. As always, I'm very humble in this video for all you guys watching Joe for name. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Thursday. Remember, if you guys want to talk to me, to Lindy on his way back, take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.